So we are actually combining some corn. We're just finishing up, and we are seeding. To date, all we've ever seeded with our seeder while we combine is cereal rye. But today I'm actually going to try to, I have some rapeseed mixed with it too. And we're just doing a little trial with that to see if we can get it to just another species out there to add a little diversity. And our hope is that it won't grow, honestly, this fall. Our hope is that it'll just lay there and then grow in the spring. So that's why we're waiting till today, because it's our last day of harvest. It might be a little bit warm yet. You know, the ground temperature might be a little bit warm yet for that, but we're just gonna try it and see what happens. So yeah, right now my dad, Jack, is out here and we're harvesting. And you can see behind us here, this is obviously wrapped up. And he's just working on finishing up a little bit out here, working on some point rows right now, and then just seeding as he goes, which we can't necessarily see right now, but as he turns around, we'll be able to see that. So it's a pretty efficient way for us to get it done because we can basically plant and harvest at the same time. So we like it because, again, it's just quick. Now, a lot of people would think that it's a pain in the butt because we do have to fill our seeder to stop when we're combining. But, you know, it takes us probably 10 to 15 minutes to fill that each time. And, you know, if you think of the fact that we don't have to make an additional pass then to seed those acres, it saves a ton of time. And we wouldn't be able to get it done right away or even it all done anyway. So it's multitasking and getting it all done at the same time.
Method that we're doing here today is we're blowing rye on our corn with an air seeder, with an old Gandy air seeder. And the rye is shot ahead of the corn head, and then all the residue is mulched on top of it. So it's a one-pass system. And it's been very successful for us. We get really good germination, and the rye will really thrive next spring because it will germinate this fall yet. And the beauty of it is it's just one pass and you're done. And you know, we all know the price of fuel has gone up, and we try to accomplish as many things in one pass as we can to save fuel. So that was primarily our motivation for putting the seeder on our combine. And then we also no-till drill quite a bit of it, and you know, we used to aerial apply, but we don't do that as much anymore since we have the combine seeder. So
you know, you could see it a little bit more, but like right here, if you follow this row, you can see just the green of the rye coming perfect up through this row, and each one of these rows actually. So that's what we're trying to do, because they actually we actually blow the seed in the row because the cows don't like to step on these stumps, and they walk in between the rows. So my theory was if we could try to keep as much seed as possible in the row, we'd have better stands, better use of the seed essentially, and that works for the most part. So most of the seed is within 6 inches on one side of the row, and then when we plant the following year, we'll just plant right down the middle of the rows essentially. The whole point of the seeder is to get the seed out in front of the residue, so we want the residue on top of the seed because that essentially kind of plants it. So like when it rains tomorrow, it'll kind of, all this crop material from the corn will hold moisture right over top of the seed, and then it'll allow it to easily germinate within a few days. So yeah, it's a pretty good little bed for it to get going.